through the valley with blood in the sand, steel on my shoulder, mud at my knees. I saw your red shadow burn through the trees. You turned the whole sky into a warning sign. I held my breath tight and crossed the line. Stand still, dragon. Stand still, dragon. I won't run now. I won't break now. Stand still, dragon. Stand still, dragon. You breathe fire. I bring rain. Your eyes were a storm gate. Your roar hit hard. My horse shook under me, but I stayed my guard. One step to your circle, one look in your flame. I saw not a monster, just a crown of pain. You turned the whole sky into a warning sign. I held my breath tight and crossed the line. Stand still, dragon. Stand still, dragon. I won't run now. I won't break now. Stand still, dragon. Stand still, dragon. You breathe fire. I bring rain. If you want my fear, you can take the night. If you want my heart, come and earn the right. I lift my sword high, you lift your flame. Two fierce souls in water, calling one name.